your official home for everything CORT. You're tuned in to the fastest show in sim racing, the CORT Report, your one-stop shop for news pertaining to the CORT Trading Paints Championship Series, the CORT National Series, and anything else happening in the world of CORT.
And now, the guys who will bring it all to you, David Amboys, Chris Sweat, and John Dragonetti. Hello and welcome to the third edition of the CORT Report. I am your host, David Amboys, and I'm alongside John Dragonetti.
It's gonna be fun.
And that's it. We're giving you a short skeleton crew CORT Report this week, as a lot of us are coming back over the pond, and a lot of us aren't back yet from Brands Hatch. We're back at the warm CORT studios, and it's good to be back.
Yeah, I heard Chris got stuck over in London. I guess he had something in his bag that shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, I guess he was trying to bring home peak frames or something. I don't know.
Either way, it's gonna be bad when he gets back over here.
Yeah, it's gonna be painfully awkward. I hope you guys enjoyed the new intro, or not the new intro, but the new kind of screen-saver type deal that we got. Look at that thing move. Look at that.
It's awesome.
Look at that thing move.
I like it.
It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick for something that no one's gonna look at.
That'll be alright. I like it. That's what counts.
It counts, it counts. Anyways, the London CORT Trophy, and Thomas Morris brought it home.
Yeah, he pretty much dominated the entire race. Led about 83 laps, had a fastest time of 38.695. It's pretty much him and Mickey the entire time. Mickey started off really strong, actually on pole, and led the first 17 or so laps, but after a little off-course incident, not really an incident, just kind of went off course. It was all Morris from there, leading pretty much the rest of the race. Not wire to wire, but pretty freaking close. He was on fire, and he really earned every single lap led, and especially that win.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thomas Morris with the win, and it moves him to second in points, which is kind of scary to think. If he would have ran right from the beginning, we'd have a two-horse race for that championship.
Yeah, as it stands now, Mickey's about, 130 points to his name, and Morris being his second place guy right behind him with 89? I think that's what it is. 88?
88, 89, somewhere around there. I did the points and I can't remember.
Either way, that's insanely close to think. Mickey hasn't made every single race either and still has that huge of a lead over the second place guy. It only makes you think, what would it have been had he made every race? Same with Morris. Would it be closer? Would it still be like this? Who knows? But either way, it's going to be a runaway. But if one small thing happens to Mickey, I'm pretty sure it'll close out quick.
Absolutely. And moving on to Eric Mickey, who finished second last night. A good run for the DHL team. Well, anytime they finish in the top three seems to be a good run. An average finish of 3 this season. Really shows that team, once again, is championship material, and it looks like it's just about a lock for Eric Mickey, with Alex Boffley not making the trip over.
Yeah, especially, I'm going to say it again, it seems the third freaking week in a row. Can you believe that? With that crew, with that car, with that driver combination, it's working. So I think all bets are off on them unless, like I said, he makes a huge mistake. But all eyes are on them. It's pretty much theirs to lose at this point.
Yeah, he has a 2 race point advantage. So if Mickey finished out of the points in 2 races and Boffley or Morris won 2, then we might have a title fight. But I highly doubt it. Andrew Hayes, though, a great run finally for that number 11 group.
Yeah, they finally got the monkey off their back. I don't know what they did, but they did it right for sure. I know they had a consistent race, and myself, I tried to catch up to him. I just couldn't. He was on it this weekend, but definitely good job for them. They really needed that after the last couple weeks with the car trouble and the incidents. But I mean, that's just amazing. Finally.
Yeah, it's finally good to see him have a good run. John, you finished 4th. Good run for you.
Thank you, sir. It was pretty uneventful for once.
And that seemed to be the theme of the entire race. Very uneventful. It was a lot of give and take. Here you go. And it kind of surprised me, especially with the layout being so small, only 1.19 miles, a very short racetrack, especially for a road course. And it was a surprisingly clean race.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised. I don't know about anybody else, but when I first came on track in the car on the right configuration after I told my PR guy to just sit in the hauler and not do anything. Dingle bell. What an idiot.
Yeah, I know.
It almost reminded me of New Hampshire. That sounds extremely obscure, but it reminded me of New Hampshire. Don't know why or how, but, you know, I don't know if anyone else thought that, but I think that may have led to why there was so little incidents. It was a great race, don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of proud of everybody. That was pretty awesome to, be on that tight of a road course for 100 straight laps and not really have any incidents that were significant.
Well, we did have a couple guys shant it, but what I mean by clean race is that we didn't really have car-on-car contact all that much.
Yeah, it's more or less just little go off into the dirt. Yeah. Nose into the tire barrier, replace the front nose, what have you.
Yeah, that happened to me, too. Mike Husby finished 5th, the Canadian with a good run.
Yeah, he was on my butt all night. I know he tried to get me to make a mistake there late in the race, but yeah, I was close. I think other than the top 3, that was the only next closest battle for position. But that was close all night. He was really either right on my nose or right on my tail the entire race, and that was really fun.
I finished 6th in the UK, the good old Union Jack car that week. And it was a good run, but, I nosed it on the tire barrier, and then when I found out I nosed it on the tire barrier when we put it to get the fix and topped off with fuel, turns out we were 2 laps short on fuel at that point, so I had to come back in, get fuel again, and nursed it to a 6th place.
Yeah, nonetheless, you had a really nice car. I liked it.
Yeah, good old Union Jack on the side of it. Then we get into the guys who had some tough luck. Tim Silman, tough break for him, finishing 7th.
Yeah, no, after the last broadcasted race at Michigan, he was pretty high on himself coming back, trying to run strong. It's just a shame.
Had a good run going last week, too.
Oh, yeah.
4th.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's just a momentum killer for sure. I don't want to kind of dishearten him a bit, but even with a field of, a medium-sized field, you just hate that, and that just kills your momentum. But he's a really strong guy. He's very, very fast, and then he's got some good racetracks coming up in New Hampshire and Pocono. So hopefully he can make a run back up there. I know he's pretty close in points. It's actually right in front of me in 8th. So I'm hoping he can for sure get a win, because I know he really deserves it after that 2nd place at Michigan.
Yep. Joseph Servone in the a nice tribute to the victims of the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting, taking all the sponsorship logos off of that car to honor the victims, and of course the court report sends their well wishes and their thoughts and prayers to the families and just the people who were affected by the shooting there. He finished 8th.
Again, another instance of just making a small little mistake, but definitely a good race for the standpoint of morale. With the tragedy in Connecticut, it's nice to have a little bit of a little boost on there, just to have some people riding along with you. And again, it's really unfortunate what happened up there, but nonetheless, we move on. It's unfortunate. Hopefully we can, without getting too political, prevent instances like that from happening again. But, like you said, all of our thoughts and prayers go out to them and their families.
Yeah, absolutely. Will Roberts, he had some tough luck. I believe he had an engine go, and he finished 9th.
Yeah, same thing almost happened. Actually, it did happen to him at, what was that?
Mosport.
Seems like, Mosport. Seems like forever ago now. I was, I'm not really sure what was going on there. I know there's some bumps, may have caused something to break loose in the engine, but it's unfortunate to happen to him again. That's never good. I don't know what's going on with their engine program, but that's the second time that's happened? Third time?
Yeah. And it's really causing us as officials to kind of think about what tracks our series can go to in the future. Not saying that Brands Hatch is off the schedule. It's a fine circuit, as shown by our fine race there. But there has been rumblings of possibly the London CORT Trophy being a rotating race with other tracks in the UK. So just take it for what it's worth. It could happen. Just a word of mouth type of kind of explanation from what I heard. Kyle Young finishing 10th, and he told me he was having a ton of fun before his car finally blew an engine as well.
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened to him, and you never, ever like to have that happen as a driver or even an owner, just because of the wallet. But we look forward to having him back next weekend. It'll definitely be a lot better at New Hampshire. Hopefully they can get their engines tuned, right to perfection so it doesn't happen again.
And by next weekend, you mean the next race weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. We take a 2-week break, and we come back in the new year, January 8th at New Hampshire with the CORT Training Pain Series. Cody McCorkle, 11th. Another tough break for him, another tough run.
Yeah, he was talking to him earlier, and he was really excited about getting out here and getting to run with everybody again. I know he had a little bit of trouble last weekend on the road course, a mistake of just getting off in the dirt and wrong place, wrong time, wrong situation. But he's definitely looking forward to not only the race after the New Year's, but also the race tomorrow night at Daytona.
Yeah, that's right. And Chris Sweat finished 12th and is awarded points, as there was only 12 entries who actually entered the server. Chris is awarded the 1 point for 12th place. And that wraps up Brands Hatch, and we move on to New Hampshire. And John, in 3 weeks, New Hampshire, what do drivers have to watch out there?
Well, I think, honestly, the hot spots there are going to be turn 2 and turn 4. Kind of the same type of thing as Phoenix. It's a very flat track, and the corners have a little bit of a bump, especially out of 4. I know it's the way it's oriented, with the pit lane being on the straightaway right out of 4. It makes you kind of want to duck your car down. So I think if people try to make an entrance on pit road under green, it's going to be really hard to kind of keep the car under you, especially from that transition from the turn to the apron, then to the pit lane. So definitely, like what happened in Phoenix, you just got to watch out for especially turn 4, but also turn 2 with that transition from keeping that car on the corner to then straight with little banking. It's going to be tough, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, and John, just personally, what out of the last 4 venues that we go to New Hampshire, we go to Laguna Seca, then we head to the final race of the Triple Crown at Pocono, and then we wrap up the season in Texas. Which one of those are you eyeballing?
Personally, or as a whole?
Well, just in general.
Well, personally, I'm looking forward to Texas. I know we had a strong run at Michigan and another strong run at Indianapolis. Those ovals seem to fit me more than the road courses like I thought. But I know there we've had some strong runs in the past in the stock car. So hopefully we can get the program set right and make another strong run at Texas. But I'm looking forward to that one, most of all out of the 3, New Hampshire, Laguna Seca, Pocono, and Texas.
Absolutely. And moving on to stock cars and the CORT National Series, which is actually for reals this time, kicking off tomorrow night at Daytona, the Daytona 250, and what's going to be the big thing to watch out for at Daytona during the day? Fixed setup as the CORT Training Paints Championship Series, same thing. It's going to be fixed setup. What's to watch for?
Probably going to be the switching. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there, trying to race for that top spot, especially the win. It's going to be close in the closing laps. I think it's going to be, really testy to see, how and when people decide to make their move in the final couple laps. So that's definitely one thing to watch out. But especially, like I said, and forgot to elaborate on, the switching, the two-car draft is still going to be in effect. There will be some pack racing, but it's still going to be more of a two-car thing. But I know if you can't, time it right, the pack's going to be right up on you, and you're really going to just drag the rest of the pack back. So with that being said, because of that, if it bunches up, there may be a potential for wrecks. Not saying it's going to happen. It might happen. But that's probably going to be the biggest issue everyone's going to see tomorrow, regardless of who you are or where you are or what point in the race it's at.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, just remember, guys, it's kicking off tomorrow night. Your entry for the 12th still carries over. You guys can still race if you entered on for the 12th. Your entry is still good for the 19th. So don't worry about it. Just come on down and come and kick off the CORT National Series. And that will be the only series running from CORT during the Christmas break. We run the 19th tomorrow at Daytona, and then the 26th, or Boxing Day, as it's known up here in Canada and over in the UK, we run the FedEx 400K at Miami. So that one will be running. And then, of course, in the new year, let me pull this up here. In the new year, we go to Vegas, or we go to Texas on January 2nd.
Yeah, and that is going to be interesting for sure. I know in the last test session we had in the stock car, that was an extremely fun track, and that's why I say before, and the Indy car is going to be interesting. But that's going to definitely be a fun race. Then we'll run after that. It's going to be Iowa. That's going to be pretty fun, but I think everyone's going to have their eyes on Texas, with the venue that it is and with the accolades that some of the drivers have going to it. It's going to be a close race for sure, regardless of, fixed setup, open setup, what have you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I believe we go to the 1.5 mile at Charlotte after that on the 18th, or on the 16th. And CORT officials have officially announced that race will be now known as the Coca-Cola 300. It will be a 200-lap, 300-mile true race, and it will be the longest race in CORT history. And we're proud to bring it to you guys on January 16th.
That is going to be fun for sure. I know we've been talking about doing that for a while, and between myself and the other drivers, it's going to be incredibly fun, especially stamina-wise. You can keep their OCD under control the longest.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a war of attrition, and looking forward to seeing that. Now just moving on to general iRacing news, because we need to fill up time for the podcast. The McLaren MP4-12C came out today, and it's a really friggin' good car.
I think that's an understatement, honestly.
It's slow, but it's a fun car to drive. It just handles well. Like, we were doing some testing at Daytona earlier, and it was a ton of fun. And I did some testing at Road America, and it's just a fun car to drive.
Oh yeah, and I don't want to sound like I'm trying to plug anything, but if you got the money, definitely go pick yourself up that car, because it is incredibly fun. It's very nimble. You can turn it on a dime. You can stop it on a dime. Heck, you can pretty much put it wherever you want, and it'll be really forgiving. But it is a great car. It is phenomenal. So definitely pick that up and give it a shot if you got the chance or the money.
Yeah, it will probably be the CORT car of choice during the Christmas break, during the time off that we have in the Training Paint series. That'll probably be the car that fills up our time. By the way, another Trading Paints series note is that during the weeks or during the Mondays that we have off, we will have some tests up. I will toss some tests ups. We will have one at Laguna Seca on the 24th. Obviously, these are all optional. And on the 31st, we will have a test at Pocono. So if you guys are hopelessly not popular as I am, throwing myself under the bus, but I don't really have any family stuff to go to on the 24th anymore, sadly. So I'll probably be in the Laguna Seca server, and the 31st probably will be at home watching college football and wondering what's wrong with me. I'll probably be in that one as well.
I'll be right there with you. Yep.
Nah. So, yeah, that pretty much does it for the Court Report this week. It's a short week, and we look forward to seeing you guys at Daytona tomorrow night. Make sure you guys come out, check it out. League tab, you guys don't need to register for anything else. If you're on the league tab, you're good to go.
Let's have fun. It's going to be a fun race. Let's just be careful, because we don't really want to caution right off the bat.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. As John gets harassed in the background there, as it's intern Josh again. It wouldn't be a Court Report without intern Josh getting into it. So for John Dragonetti and me, David Amboys, it's a very short edition, but it's an edition nonetheless of the Court Report for December 18th, 2012.